The convention, a place where people gather to celebrate the one thing they love doing the most. My mission is to tour some of the strangest conventions on the planet, to become one of them, to understand why they do what they do, and see whether I can do it too.
Ladies and gentlemen, from London, England, please welcome Justin L. Collins.
I am about to enter a world of fantasy and illusion, a world that dares to make the impossible possible, the world of the magician.
Now you've got to put the cup down to catch the ball that goes up your sleeve, across your shoulder, down the side, under the cup.
For centuries, a privileged few have religiously kept the tricks of magic a closely guarded secret. I need to gain their trust in order to learn the truth they've been hiding.
Quite seriously, this has to be completely confidential. Yeah?
It takes a lifetime to become a master in this mysterious world. Unfortunately for me, I have only 4 weeks. Then I throw it. I'm due to perform in a professional magic competition at a convention in Ohio, USA, called the Battle of the Magicians. To compete, I'll need to create a 10-minute magic act. But what could I do? And who could I be? I'm a complete fish out of water. I have absolutely no idea how I'm going to pull it off, what I'm going to do. It's the most nerve-wracking thing I think I've ever done or thought about doing. The magicians I loved to watch on TV as a child were the big illusionists. They were jaw-dropping, sexy, and had really nice outfits. Oh, here we go. Pendragons, here we go. My favourite were the husband and wife team, the Pendragons. Their most famous trick was an illusion called metamorphosis. Pendragons doing metamorphosis. Now you watch this, this is unbelievable. It's good, isn't it? But doesn't it make you feel like a 5-year-old when you're watching that again? It makes you feel like a kid. That's exactly what I want to do. Could I really do what the Pendragons do? Well, the only way to find out is to come to the legendary Magic Circle, home of professional magicians in the UK for over 100 years. Scott Penrose, a senior member from within the circle, has agreed to help me. I know the magicians that I like, and I know the type of magic that I like.
Oh, right.
So that's a start.
So what's that?
Well, I'm not big on cards and anything that's kind of delicate. I like the big illusions.
Not sure about that. A lot of magicians are sniffy about illusions.
Yeah.
And think that they work themselves, but they don't necessarily. And I think inexperienced performers should be afraid of big illusions, I think, and then should find more comfort in doing smaller tricks.
This isn't the news I want to hear. Big illusions are out already, and small, delicate tricks are in. But can I do small?
Well, here's a test for your dexterity, perhaps.
Yeah.
You can learn how to do that.
Yeah.
The tricky bit is when you get to the other side.
Technically speaking, I'm completely cack-handed.
Fingers in a minute.
Yeah, look.
That's it.
Oh, that's rubbish. I'm getting the feeling that Scott's doubting my magical potential. Oh, look at that. Could I do that?
Probably not, actually. A gentle blow, and then hopefully we're back to where we started.
That's brilliant. I could do rope. I think I could work rope.
That would take about 6 months to learn how to do that.
Are you serious? That's out, rope's out. I have absolutely no idea what I'm going to do.
Yeah. Well, neither have I, to be honest.
Please don't take this the wrong way. But after talking to you, I now feel less confident than I did before. He was supposed to make me feel at ease, wasn't he? Now I feel like it's almost an impossible task. If the Magic Circle say small tricks, then small tricks it is. So I've come to a shop where professional magicians go to choose from hundreds. Pete Furman, one of Britain's top TV magicians, has agreed to help me find some magic I might actually be able to do.
We've got Grandpa's deck.
Well,
That's a great trick.
is it?
It's a great trick, but I don't think it's your kind of trick because there's a little bit of sleight of hand involved. I'm not saying you're clumsy, you're incapable.
My assistant would bring this on.
Yep.
Yep.
Lift it up, and you see it produce your cake.
Scared that it doesn't always go in. See.
It's not that impressive either, is it? It's just... In my heart, it's hard to imagine taking these things to America and wowing a magic convention. Quite simply, it just isn't the kind of magic I'm dreaming of. Because it's razzmatazz, I'm thinking, you know, so I'm just... What I'm thinking of is, you know, big razzmatazz, you know, Saturday night.
And collect it quickly.
Yeah. It's not really, I don't think I want this to be in my act. And I just want to do this and make something move, and I want to do that and make something rise.
I'm just wondering whether you can nail it, really.
Well, that's the challenge, isn't it? That's. But I believe that I can.
I think he's really fucked. I think he's totally screwed.
Despite my misgivings, I decide to spend a few quid on the tricks Pete believes I could perform.
That is 236.
Is it really? Goodness me. 70, 80, 90... Back home, and now £236 down, it's time to work out what on earth I've just bought. Dove chicken rabbit pan. When the magician uncovers it, there will appear a rabbit, a dove, or a baby chicken. That's empty. I don't see this working at all. I actually don't like it. It's fiddly, it's a bit rubbish. It's children's party. Ever wanted to move ordinary objects with the power of your mind? And I said, what's that? And before I knew it, it was in my bag. I'm another 40 quid shy. And what have I got for my trouble? I've got a magnet. That's the wizard ring. Come to me, come to me. Brilliant. Okay? It's just a bit rubbish, isn't it? I've got no intention of doing this. It's another fiddly, tiny little thing, and I don't want to be fiddling about with any stuff like this. This was all such a long way from my dream of being a Pendragon and performing metamorphosis. I want to do big illusions. I want to make the impossible possible. I want to stand on a large trunk and be transformed into a beautiful woman. That's my dream. Surely somebody, somewhere, can make it come true. I'm on my way to Chepstow. Pete Furman has suggested I go and see a friend of his, Jonathan Goodwin, an escapologist who's been buried alive and hung from the neck on live TV. Okay?
You alright?
Yeah, more importantly, Jonathan's a metamorphosis expert who owns one of the few sub-trunks in the country. He's agreed to show me how the trick is done. Does it help being short for this illusion?
Well, it will help being slim.
Yeah. Part of the illusion entails being handcuffed, put in a sack, and locked in a box. The other thing is that I do suffer from claustrophobia.
That's going to be a problem.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
The first lesson is how to get out of handcuffs. Not exactly a gift for a clumsy man. It's really difficult, isn't it? I mean, that's potentially... I could be stuck in the box trying to shimmy myself out of those cuffs.
Yeah. In a sack.
In a sack.
Do you want to have a look at the sack?
Yeah.
All right.
Please don't shut me in the trunk, 'cause I'll freak out.
Will you?
Yeah, honestly I will.
But it's going to happen at some point.
Not just yet, though, because I'm already feeling a little bit claustrophobic.
Are you?
Yeah, just in the sack in the trunk.
You need to get a bit lower.
Oh, please don't shut me in.
Well, you're going to have to do it at some point, mate.
OK,
as soon as you shout, I don't like it,
Yeah.
I'll open it up again.
I don't like it now, though. I seriously am claustrophobic just in this sheet.
You're going to have big problems doing the sub-trunk.
Yeah, I know. It's something that I didn't consider. I didn't consider my claustrophobia. I didn't consider that at all, Jonathan.
You could have saved yourself a journey, really, couldn't you?
My claustrophobia is worse than I thought, but demons must be faced if I am to make the impossible possible.
If you panic, don't worry, I can just open this straight up.
Thank you.
All right.
Oh, my goodness me. I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out.
All right, I'm opening it up. Really?
That is horrible. To perform this trick, I need to be able to stay in the box for at least 2 minutes.
Now, lock's going on. All right.
Jonathan, let me out! That was horrible. How long did I last?
About 10 seconds.
Well, I'm going to go again. I'll do it again. Slowly, I survive for longer and longer periods. Please don't padlock it!
I'm not padlocking it.
Are you sat on it?
No.
Until eventually, I managed the whole 2 minutes in the trunk.
1. That was 2 minutes.
That is horrible. Training continues, including how the illusion actually works. Jonathan's keen not to reveal the secret of the trick on camera, so we agree to film from a distance. It turns out that being an illusionist is actually really hard. Claustrophobia aside, you've got to be agile, nimble, and several stone lighter than I am. But as the day comes to an end, at least some progress has been made.
Are you out the sack?
I'm out of the handcuffs and I'm out of the sack.
Okay. And how are you claustrophobia-wise?
I feel a lot better.
I had no idea that you were claustrophobic. So given that that is true, you know, it's going to be really hard.
Jonathan's not wrong. The convention is now just 10 days away. The one illusion I've learnt seems nigh on impossible, and so far, it's the only one I know. It's really hard. It's really, really hard. I have an illusion that I cannot do, and no act. Even if I could do the illusion, that's 2 minutes. I need at least 10. I have no act. Two weeks from today, I'll be travelling to America to compete at a professional magic convention in Ohio called Battle of the Magicians. So far, I know that I want to perform an illusion called Metamorphosis, but that's all I know. I need a proper act and I need a magical mentor. I'm hoping to find one in the Somerset Holiday Resort of Bream. It's home to the largest leisure park in the southwest, and as a child, I spent many happy holidays here with my mum and dad.
That was the main attraction at the leisure park when I was a little boy. I would say to my mum, can we go on the slippery dip, mum? Mum, can we go on the slippery dip, mum?
The park is run by Richard Cadell, who used to be a professional illusionist. In fact, I saw him perform Metamorphosis when I was a kid.
Me and my mum and dad came to see you at the Western Playhouse.
Yes.
And it blew me away.
Once upon a time, Richard was considered one of the best illusionists in the country. He was also known briefly for being Sooty's sidekick. He's now retired from the world of puppets and magic, but he's agreed to help me. He does, however, have one condition.
But if I do show you just a few small things to enable you to do, hopefully, what you want to do, and quite seriously, this has to be completely confidential, you know, how this stuff works, because if you blow the secret, there is no magic. And what we're going to do is make magic. So, yeah?
That's perfect.
Okay. I don't want to blow the magic.
Richard keeps all his old illusions round the back of the ghost train in his workshop.
Right, so we're going inside. This is round the back of the ghost train?
It's the back of the ghost train, but it's the workshop.
I feel like I've been granted access to a secret world, the one I've been searching for all along.
Let's find out what sort of stuff you want to do and get the right sort of... Because ultimately it's about you.
Yeah.
And this is the thing, these props, the girl, it's all about you.
While the ghost train runs next door, Richard explains the secret behind each illusion.
That's brilliant. And it's as easy as that.
Well, it's not as easy as that, but it will look as easy.
It will look as easy
It
as
will
that.
look like magic.
Inspired by Richard's faith in me, I'm slowly beginning to believe that I could now become a proper illusionist. I've even thought of a stage name.
Justin Illusion. Just an illusion. It's good, isn't it? Doodle, ah, illusion. Ooh, 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 ah, illusion.
Training's relentless. You've got to be fit to be an illusionist, and there's the performance element to worry about too.
There will be blood. All right. So you've got to do that.
There is so much to learn, and so little time to learn it.
Thank you very much indeed. Oh.
It's also becoming clear that I'm going to need an assistant.
Meet your partner in crime.
Richard introduces me to Zara, an experienced magician's assistant who has agreed to come with me to Ohio. Luckily, I've thought of a stage name for her as well.
I'm thinking panache.
Really?
Yeah. What do you think?
Justin, how will you bill it?
I'm just an illusion with panache.
Wow! Do you love it?
Yeah, I'll go with that.
So will Zara will be my anchor almost? Will kind of prevent me from
No.
going wrong?
No. If it goes wrong, you'll be making it go wrong.
It'll be me.
Richard has some new illusions that he believes I can perform. One of which is called the shadow box, and another ominously called the fire cage.
You ready?
Yes.
Ready?
Yeah.
All right, there's
Yeah.
the flames. You like it?
Good. I love it.
There's the flames.
I absolutely love it.
Yeah. But that's the look. Do you like the? This is you. This is just an illusion with a. Can you paint the picture?
Yeah.
Do it. Paint the picture.
That's amazing.
Working with pyrotechnics, which let's face it are basically explosives, requires a delicate touch.
Oh shit!
no, you
Have I just broken that? Sorry, I'll take that out. That's ruined.
Finally, Richard brings out his metamorphosis trunk.
Straight away, I'm nervous. Yeah.
I've already learnt the basics of the trick from Jonathan Goodwin, so I feel confident that I can now finally show Richard what I'm made of.
And then I throw it. The problem is that I'm so awkward. I'm physically awkward. I always have been. I've got no balance, no grace at all. And I also have this very large belly. I'm so going on a crash diet for the next... I can't, it's a gut. My gut's there and I can't, right.
Most illusionists are sort of quite slim and agile.
That fortunately, hang on, don't sorry.
To be honest, I'm going to strengthen this box. I'm going to have to really seriously do some modifications to it because it's creaking and clunking and the wheels are moving.
As long as the trunk doesn't give way, I'm going to keep practicing.
Don't blink your eyes or you'll miss metamorphosis. 1, 2. Oh, sorry, I wasn't sorry. So, can you do that bit again? Yeah. I'll rehearse every single day and I will do the best that I can and be as good as I can be. 1, 2.
No. Sorry.
If it's rubbish come showtime, then there you go. What did I do? Sorry, Panache. I don't want it to be because I didn't practice enough and I didn't rehearse enough. We're all right. Thank God we're all right.
He's taking this really seriously and there's great respect for what he's doing, and that is half the battle.
Metamorphosis. 1, 2.
Great!
Like this.
Yeah. But you can't be there like
Oh, no, I know. No, sorry.
Again!
There's an awful lot to remember, and it's exhausting mentally and physically. But I'm going out there now with an act. I now have an act.
There's one last thing to sort out before I go. Costumes for Just an Illusion and Panache.
I want it to be authentic.
All right, no problem.
I don't want to come out and have people laugh. I don't want to come out in affairs.
Right.
I don't want to look ridiculous. I think it's too much. I'm not feeling it at all. This trick is so dangerous that I haven't performed it for 10 years. And the last time I performed it, I lost my eye.
Eventually, I discover a costume that feels just right. It's the final piece in the Just an Illusion jigsaw.
I feel proper in this. I feel like, yeah, I'm going to blow you away.
I only hope Richard and Panache like it as much as I do.
Did he just say, can someone help me with my cape?
Let the battle of the magicians commence. Canton, Ohio. For 3 days, magicians from all over the world are gathering in this small, nondescript town in America's Midwest for the Battle of the Magicians Convention. Joining them is Justin Illusion.
We welcome you to the Battle of Magicians. We got a great convention planned for you. We got some great actors. Everybody having a good time. All right, let's get started.
The hotel is crammed with mainly middle-aged, balding men who are all here to see magic, buy magic, and learn magic from some of the best in the business.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of spades and queen of diamond. Yes. Again. 5, 2, 8, 9, 2. 2 of hearts, maybe 2 of hearts and ace of club. Yeah, 2 of hearts, ace of club. Again. 1, 2, 7 of diamond, maybe, and 3 of diamond. Really? Yeah, 7 and 3. Again. 7 of spades, jack of club. 7 of spades, jack of clubs. Oh.
Feeling woefully out of my depth, it's time to register.
Hi, Justin Lee Collins.
You said Collins, right?
Yes, Justin Lee.
There's some confusion about my registered name, but the mystery is soon cleared up.
Oh, fantastic. Forget Lee Collins. There is no Justin Lee Collins, Will. From here on in, I'm Justin Illusion.
All over the hotel, there are pros and amateurs doing tricks for each other. More often than not, using elastic bands.
Dude, I'm there. Look, that's natural.
It seems to be the way magicians say hello.
If you start rubbing them, it creates friction, which creates a change in the molecular structure, and you can do that.
That's really good.
I would really like to see you do something.
I haven't got any stuff. Really not. I got to buy some stuff.
One particular floor of the hotel is occupied by dealers, magic shop owners who've opened up their bedrooms as shops.
Don't blink. Hey, hello.
Now, have you ever done the egg bag?
The closer you watch, the less you see, and the less you see is better for me.
The bag is empty. My hands are empty. The egg is in. There's the egg. Watch this. Would you reach in and see if you feel anything if you take it out? So that's the egg bag.
How much would that be?
$25. The egg is $2 more, but if you buy the egg bag, I give you the egg. So it's just $25.
The haunted key is a key that turns over in the palm of your hand.
Set it here and we'll see if we can summon the spirits. There we go. This room is, must be haunted a little bit.
That's great. Can I try that?
Sure.
Turn. I can't do it. $7.50.
Yep.
And 5 for the booklet.
Yep.
His hand was very steady. I couldn't see his. I don't think he was doing anything with his hand. I think there's something to that, and obviously he wasn't telling me.
The competition is just 2 days away. While Panache works the room, possibly looking for a better magician to assist, I take a wander and meet John Piker, a professional from Nashville who's a recent convention convert.
I started doing the magic convention circuit about 1.5 years ago, specifically because I'd been performing professionally for about 20 years, but no one in the magic community knew me because I wasn't doing these conventions.
Worryingly, John will be competing against me in tomorrow's magic contest. For him, there can be only one result.
I came to win first place. I came to win the title of International Battle of Magicians. A lot of big name talent have won the title of battle champion and you know, gone on to make a bigger name of themselves.
Talk of the competition reminds me that I still have work to do on my act, namely, rebuilding all my illusions that are now lying in bits in my room. Luckily, I wrote down detailed construction notes before I left.
Subtrunk, step 1. Screw back pins at of hinges at back. I've got screws and pins. Is this the piece I should do first, do you think? Hang on. Hang on. Here we go. Right, we're in business. This is it. Oh, fuck!
The following morning begins with demonstrations and workshops where professionals pass their experience on to amateurs. The hottest ticket is a demonstration by Fielding West, a famous pro from Las Vegas. His seminar dispelling the myths of dove magic is packed.
We're going to get ready to do the dove trick. And this is what I do. I take the bird and I load him into my harness. Now I'm going to hold him so that I have control of his wings. His little feet are kicking in there, but watch this. Now, I ask you, you know where it's at, but do you see a bird? No. I reach underneath here, and now, instantaneously in front of your face is a dove.
The audience love Fielding's act. In fact, they love anything to do with doves, hankies and cards. I'm worried about how my flame-coloured leotard will go down with this crowd. After his seminar, I tracked down Fielding in the hope of a few tips.
So you're going to be a magician, my friend.
Absolutely, Fielding, yes.
Well, welcome to the troupe.
Thank you very much indeed.
It turns out he's also done metamorphosis as part of his act, although with a cheeky twist.
I took my girl, I put her in the bag in the box, bolted the thing down, stood on top, took the drape, threw it up, and when it dropped, I was wearing fishnet hose, a G-string, and a bustier. I was wearing what she was wearing, like that. Now I went, wait, this isn't right. Now I took the drape, I threw it up again. Now she's standing there in that costume. She opens up the trunk and I'm dressed again. This is gonna be a hoot. I'll be there cheering you on, my friend. Good for you. Cheers.
That's at least one person who'll be cheering me on. The Battle of the Magicians competition is tomorrow, and it's now time to sign up.
The contest starts at 9 o'clock.
Each of us will perform a 10-minute act in front of a room full of magicians. Justin Illusion.
Okay, Justin
Illusion.
Illusion.
Another of the acts competing against me tomorrow will be 55-year-old Fred Hayden, the elastic band man who I met yesterday.
If you're the best and you happen to be on first, they're going to remember you.
Yeah.
And if you're the best and you happen to be last, they'll wake up for you.
Sure.
Fred's been a magic nut for over 40 years and has flown in from Miami, Florida to compete.
I've been doing magic since I was 12, and obviously that's been a while ago. So I have some expertise. I have some stage knowledge that I can bring to the table, and I've never competed before. And I thought this should be cool.
Fred shows me his scrapbook. 20 years ago, he toured county fairs with his magic act, but life on the road took its toll, and he had to give it up. Now he works in a warehouse and is a single parent of 3 kids.
I've been married twice, I've been divorced twice, with a relationship in the middle of all that wound up kind of bad. But if all else fails, I can fall back on my love of magic.
Many of my competitors are like Fred, middle-aged men who love magic and can be, for one weekend, the amazing Larry or the incredible Bob. As night falls, Panache and I seize the chance for one last rehearsal on stage before the competition tomorrow. But Chester, the man in charge, won't allow it.
Acts in the talent contest aren't permitted use of the auditorium like that.
So, alone in the car park, away from prying eyes and any flammable fabrics, my rehearsals continue.
Could have been a band. Whoa, it's just an illusion. Could have been a band.
Tomorrow, Justin Illusion will perform for the very first time to a crowd of several hundred magicians who all love doves and elastic bands. I feel sick.
I'm hoping that people go, great, you know, he took a chance and he's got the jumpsuit on and he did it, fine. But if something goes wrong, then you're just gonna see a fat bloke in a jumpsuit. There we go in.
What was he thinking, you know? What on earth was he thinking? It's the morning of the Battle of the Magicians competition. In just under 2 hours, I will be performing my Justin Illusion magic show for the first time ever to a crowd of professional magicians. My assistant Panache and I are still rehearsing. The tension's definitely mounting. And even the lady who's come to tidy my room can tell that.
Later on! Later on, please!
Downstairs, in the main hall, my magic adversaries are gathering.
I'm going to have to take a towel, Will. Take a towel. Because already I'm sweating like mad. Yeah, sure. It's a combination of the jumpsuit and the cold.
My judge and jury today will be the audience, who will vote on the act they like best.
Performing in front of magicians is harder than performing in front of what we call the lay audience or a regular audience that has no knowledge of magic. Because now you're not only conscious that these guys all know what you're doing and how you're doing it, but now they're judging the way you do it. You know, and the 99% of them are sitting there going, oh, well, I could have done that better.
The hardest bit of my act is the trick metamorphosis, and they'll all know how it works. So how can I hope to impress them?
It doesn't matter if the tricks existed for 200 years. It's important that he's brought something new to the table.
The thing that'll make this trick or break this trick has to do with the timing. And the timing is it has to be quick. In other words, he raises the drape and drops it. I mean, it has to be, the transposition has to be magical. I think I'd rather jump into a volcano than do what Justin's going to do.
Right, let's go make magic.
Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go, let's leave, you can't go back.
No, that's it.
Sure?
I don't want to go back.
First place is $500, second place is $250, and third place is $150.
As I take my place backstage, the first act is announced, and it's my friend John Piker.
Our first act, you can write it down, is Big Daddy Cool.
Swinging solid, baby. Hit it. It don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. Do-I, 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 do-I.
John, or Big Daddy Cool as he calls himself, combines magic and music in an act that scarily sets the bar pretty high. The audience reward Big Daddy Cool with only a polite ripple of applause, a worrying sign, because I think he was really good. There are 3 different kinds of act. Some guys do close-up magic, tricks with coins, cards, and spoons.
Never before seen in front of a live audience 3 spoons at once. Are you ready?
Go.
Others, like myself, do big illusions.
Abracadabra, hocus pocus.
And then, of course, there are the dove acts. Some good, some not so good. A lot of routines look almost identical, but then one comes along that seems totally unique. The Great Canton. The crowd love him, and it's easy to see why. It's going to be a tough act to follow. Unfortunately for Fred Hayden, he's on next.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a big hand for Hayden the Magician.
Hey! Ha! Ho! Ho! Hi-ya!
Fred's act involves one long trick where members of the audience are seemingly tied together, but are then magically released.
3, pull!
It seems like it's going well for Fred, but then, even though he's running out of time, he makes a final heartfelt speech.
I'm sorry, yesterday is history. Tomorrow a mystery. Today is a gift. That's why they call it the present. Thank you.
All right, Hayden the Magician.
Fred's moving monologue certainly has an effect on Chester, the MC.
I'm sorry to inform Hayden that he did run over, so you cannot vote for him. Do us fair.
He disqualifies him.
He did run over by almost a minute, so Please do not vote for him. If you do, that whole ballot will be thrown away.
I would feel sorry for Fred, but unfortunately right now I have some fairly big worries of my own.
Yeah, the nerves have kicked in now, and I felt physically sick in there just a second ago. I actually felt physically sick, like I was actually going to be sick.
I'm on next. Chester begins my introduction.
Justin, Justin, illusion.
But then with bowel-loosening panic, I suddenly remember something.
Ladies and gentlemen.
One sec.
Okay, we have 1 second wait here.
I've forgotten to prime my pyrotechnics.
1 second, all right.
There's no going back now.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a big hand for Justin Illusion.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are about to enter the world of magic and illusion where nothing is ever what it seems. This is Justin Illusion.
It's just an illusion. And all this confusion.
It's a smoky but strong opening. I feel good and move on to my blood-curdling knife illusion. I don't know whether they're impressed or horrified by my self-harm, but some of the crowd are now taking photos. Undaunted, I begin my shadow box illusion. The box is shown to be empty. But Justin Illusion manages to summon an ethereal presence from within, who turns out to be none other than beautiful assistant Panache. To be honest, the crowd seem pretty unimpressed. I only have one trick left. One last chance to knock their socks off. It's time for metamorphosis. It's all going to plan, but as I stand on the box, I suddenly realise that I'm now performing above the curtain rail. My head's nearly touching the ceiling. It's not Copperfield, but the show must go on. This is what all the training has been leading up to. Now is the time to make the impossible possible.
And this metamorphosis. 1, 2.
It's the fastest we've ever done the switch. But my joy is premature. We could be an explosion short of an act. It's over. I feel relieved, but uncertain as to how I went down. The first person I bump into off stage is Fielding West.
Good job. Hey, everybody.
How's it going?
Say I wasn't so bad. I loved your act.
It's all right, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, it's great. It's good. See? All that effort, all that work, and it paid off for you.
Now the voting begins.
Have you already turned a ballot in?
No, I didn't realise I could.
There are ballot papers to fill in, and strangely, you're allowed to vote for yourself. So I do. While the votes are counted, I've got time to get out of my jumpsuit.
You did all right, Crash. I knew the switch went really well. I knew it went really well. I could feel it.
Back downstairs, magicians are gathering for the results of the competition. I bump into my disqualified friend, Fred.
Can I ask you about the disqualification? Because we all thought that was exceptionally harsh.
No, I was overtime.
But how much, though?
1 minute and 10 seconds.
That's harsh.
Overtime is overtime. You
So you're okay with that?
I'm a tad disappointed, but there's no one to blame but myself. All I got to see of your act was from side stage. But to do as a professional job as you did in a short amount of time that you've had training is a testament. It's incredible. I think you deserve all the accolades that you may receive from this. And I hope you get first place.
That's a lovely thing to say, but it's unlikely, isn't it? But
I know, I'm not getting it.
The votes have been counted. The results are about to be announced. But up against so many more experienced magicians, what chance does Justin Illusion really have? Four weeks ago, I began my journey into the world of the magician. My mission was to see whether I could become one of them. In the Battle of the Magicians competition, I had pitted my new magical powers against seasoned professionals. This is the moment of truth. The winner is about to be announced.
First place stage goes to David Kaplan. David Kaplan.
The winner is deservedly the great Kaplan. He was definitely the best. Realistically, I knew my best shot was always going to be for second place.
Second place stage winner goes to Big Daddy Cool, John Pica. Where's John? All right.
I'm pleased for John. This competition meant a lot to him, but it also means a lot to me. There's only one prize left. It's now the bronze medal or nothing for Justin Illusion.
Okie dokie. Now we go with the third place in stage. Goes to Justin Illusion. Where is he? Hey, there he is. Great job.
I've done it. Justin Illusion is officially the third best magician at this convention. I also get a check for $150. There is, of course, the problem of how I cash an American check made out to Justin Illusion, but that's not important right now. What I really want to know is, could I possibly have a future as a professional magician?
The only thing I would suggest is to look at the costuming a little bit more. I wouldn't go necessarily for a form-fitting outfit, but other than that, I would have no critiques with what you did.
I appreciate that Justin committed totally to the material. You could tell he's put a lot of time into it. He might want to reconsider the wardrobe. I think it was revealing a few too many secrets on that one.
You know what? He did a great job. He did not embarrass himself, his crew, or his country. He did himself proud, and that's the most I can say for anybody that takes on that.
It's been an incredible 4 weeks, and back in my room, I'm still replaying the act in my head. Really, it could not have gone much better. The sub-trunk went so well, it's the best we've ever done it. It's the best we've ever done it. But I'm also thinking about what I could have done better, and the moment when it all went wrong. I come out the sack, I reach for that pipe, and I go down on one knee, and the thing won't fire. I can't get the thing to fire, and I'm there. In that moment, the act kind of went out the window, and I'm just going, could you see? I'm sort of going, perhaps it won't work. What do I do? What do I do? She's going, twirl it, twirl it. And that moment, it brought everything right back down to earth. You think, oh, for goodness sake. But all things considered, Panache and I can feel proud of our achievement, and maybe even a little hard done by. I think we could have placed one higher than we actually did, because I think we should have come second. It's time for Panache and I to leave Ohio and the world of magic behind. But my career as a magician is not over yet, because fortunately for Justin Illusion, someone back home has booked him for one very special farewell performance. My mentor, Richard Cadell, has invited me to headline for one night only at Breen Leisure Park. It's a dream come true. My support act for the evening are local favourites, the Carrot Crunchers. Unlike the crowd of magicians at the convention, this audience is here for pleasure, not business. And I don't want to let them down.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce to you a very special young man, Justin Illusion with Panache! He really amazed them. He blew them away, and they weren't ready for that.
Oh my God!
I just had more fun because obviously this is a proper audience. It wasn't a magic crowd. It's a completely different audience to play to.
I'm really sad it's over, actually, but I've got a sneaky suspicion this will not be the last time he puts that suit on. He could be a big success here at Breen Leisure Bar. We'd love him back here.
Metamorphosis! I will never tell anyone how I do any of these illusions. I won't tell a soul. 1, 2, 3! My dad keeps asking me, my friends keep asking me, how'd you do it? But I won't. I'll take it with me. And then when I go, I'll meet Houdini, all being well, and he'll say, you kept your mouth shut. You did a good job.
Tomorrow night, JLC gets his hand up some dummy that's sitting on his knee. Becoming a ventriloquist is the Convention Crashers Challenge, and that's at 11:25. Next tonight's an ace game of poker.
Is this your key? No. You sure?
Yeah.
I think it might be your key because it wants to turn towards you. Move. 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 Don't think it's your key, sorry.
Oh, don't.